If you guys have followed this channel for any period of time, you know that I am a lover of the water. I love the water. I love scuba diving. I love doing dive equipment reviews. That is part of the random of all things random is the dive stuff. I just love being in the water, and someone who's an enthusiast and a watch collector, of course, the dive watch is an essential part of a watch collection. But before you spend money on something like a Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, let me give you something that's close, that'll give you kind of the feel as an homage before you spend the $2,000 to $3,000 on something you may not like in the future. Today we're looking at the Cadison 200-meter diver. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm Chase. This is all things random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. Now, I love watches and affordable watches, and I always push the fact that before you buy the luxury watch, buy the homage alternative so that you can get a feel if you're going to spend the high dollar price of the luxury. Because I myself have found myself in a position where I have spent a lot of money on a Tudor Black Bay, and instead of buying the homage first, I went right for the luxury, and I found that I didn't like it. So I was out thousands and thousands of dollars. And then I tried to resell it, and because Tudor's not Rolex, I lost money on that. So I always push the fact that you should buy the homage first to determine whether or not you like the original, right? By the look, the feel. You know, if you look down at your wrist and you're still in love with it after that honeymoon phase, then buy the luxury watch that the homage is an alternative to. So this Cadison is similar. Now, it is not an exact identical homage to the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, but it's very similar. And I always wonder how companies like Cadison can get away with everything that they do with their watches, because between 80 and 100 bucks, this watch falls right in between at 90. You're getting a 200-meter dive watch with an automatic movement, a sapphire crystal, full 316 L stainless steel case, and a stainless steel bracelet. So for me, always buy the alternative first, because you're going to be saving a lot of coin and disappointment. So let's get into this Cadison dive watch. Now, the one we're looking at today is the white dial version of their 200-meter diver. Now, one of the things that I love about this dive watch is the horizontal striping that's on the dial. During the macro shots in this, I was actually pretty surprised how good the quality control was for Cadison. Now, you can see here that the lines are deeply grooved, the indices are applied, and the hands and the printing on the dial is done almost perfectly. And it makes me wonder exactly what they're doing to accomplish this. Something that's $90, well under $100, it's really hard to understand just how they're able to accomplish this. I just think they've done a damn good job at getting it right. You can see on the dial, it does have applied indices all the way around. It does have a printed logo just under the 12, Cadison just under that, and just above the 6, you can see that it says automatic and 200 meters. Now, when you look at the macro shots, these things are done perfectly, and it's hard for me to complain, because normally at a price point of 90 bucks, there's going to be some quality control issues. And this is where I look at companies like Rolex or even Tag Heuer, and I find that their quality control for watches that are over $5,000 are just abhorrent. Like, it's ridiculous. Now let's talk about the dimensions of this watch. The watch comes in at just over 40 millimeters. They say 40 millimeters. I measured at 41 millimeters. The case thickness, they say 13 millimeters. I measured at 12.6 millimeters, so just under 13 millimeters. The lug to lug, which is the most important when it comes to wrist size, is 48 millimeters, and the lug width of this is 20 millimeters. So we, of course, are going to put it on a Chase strap. Now, if you guys don't know already, I own Chase straps, chasestraps.com, link down below. We're going to put this thing on a beautiful NATO strap that you see here, a blue NATO strap. It just looks great on everything. This is a herringbone NATO strap. These things come in at just over 20 bucks. Link down in the description below. The case is done quite nicely. 316L stainless steel, as I said earlier, and you can see that it has brushing all the way around. The sweeping of the brushing and the case looks great on the lugs, and it goes down into that oyster style bracelet quite nicely. Now, the oyster style bracelet is held in by push pins, easy to remove. They offer the tool to remove the pins. Now, the clasp is a double pusher, properly milled, and it does have 2 areas of micro adjustment. Now, this watch to me fits pretty good with the bracelet, but I prefer a NATO strap or something like a vintage suede strap from, of course, my watch strap company, Chase Straps. I only say that because I just prefer a leather strap or a NATO strap over a stainless steel bracelet. And then the reason is because if it doesn't have that like glide lock style clasp with the fine micro adjustments, you find yourself having a watch that may be too tight or a watch that may be too loose. So I always recommend getting the stainless steel bracelet, then getting the aftermarket leather or NATO strap if the bracelet doesn't work for you. The case back has a diver etched on it, and it is a screw down. Again, 200 meters of water resistance. Now, at the 3 o'clock position, you can see it has a date window. Well and beautifully done, and the crown is screw down as you'd assume for 200 meters. Now, this is inside an NH35A, so it does have 21,600 vibrations an hour, so it's not a high beat movement, but it is a workhorse movement. It does offer hacking and hand winding, so when you pull that crown to the first position, it offers you the quick date adjustment. Then you pull it out once more and it goes into the time function. With a quick rotation forward, you can see that you can easily adjust the time. And one of the things that is a downfall of the NH35A or classic NH35 is the fact that the date is a slow change. When it hits about the 11 o'clock position, you can see it slowly starts to change over. Then it hits the 12 o'clock position, and then it finally clicks over. This is one of those things that shows you the difference between a high-end movement and a low-end movement is just the date. Again, not really a big deal. This is a $90 watch. Again, offers hacking and hand winding, and it really does have a nice positive feel with the crown. When you screw down the crown, it does have some sort of positive resistance, so you can tell that it does have a nice gasket system in place for that water resistance. It does offer a 120 click unidirectional bezel, as you hear here, and it is solid and everything lines up as it should. Now, one of the things that I don't like about the bezel is the fact that it doesn't have any grip around the bezel. However, that being said, the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9 do have raised edging, which makes it easy to grip on and easy to turn. So I can forgive the texture on the edge, like the coin edge, simply because you can grip it in other ways. Now, for 90 bucks, what is Cadison offering you? They're offering you a full stainless steel bracelet, a full stainless steel case, a sapphire crystal, which I don't think I've talked about. It offers a sapphire crystal over the dial. The dial looks great. Horizontal lines on it. The indices are applied. Nothing wrong on the dial. The macro shots show everything is done almost perfectly. 200 meters of water resistance, an automatic NH35A movement, and it's only 90 bucks shipped to you. I think you could do a whole lot worse for under 100 bucks, but if you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. Now, you guys know I love dive watches, and I think this is a great alternative to the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. If you guys have any other opinions, again, I would love to hear what you have to say. Now, if you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment of the content you guys would like to see on this channel. I have so many watch reviews coming up in the future, a lot of field work. I got a lot of positive reviews on my last video, which was the Bowderry titanium field watch, where I did it in the mountains of Alaska. I will be doing a lot more field reviews. In fact, I do have an AvTrek compass watch that I reviewed 2 years ago that I will be doing a survival, the 24-hour survival in the mountains of Alaska. I'm going to be dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and then I have to find my point on an azimuth, which is a direction on a compass to a map coordinate, and hopefully I can do it with this $70 compass watch. All that being said, I have a lot of videos coming up in the future. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment of the content you guys would like to see. This is All Things Random, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.